Okay. So here, you don't have to go to this page. Here we go. So what we did, okay, is we did parallelogram, and fancier ones were rectangle, rhombus, square. We're going to do trapezoid and isosceles, so that's non-parallelograms. And then kite, which is its own little island. Okay, so basically, ooh, this made me busy. A trapezoid is one pair of opposite sides parallel. That's it. Okay. So one pair of opposite sides parallel. So then for an isosceles the bases are the names of the parallel sides. So the bases are the parallel sides. They say legs for the other ones, but I don't hear that term very often. They usually talk about the two bases for a trapezoid. Trapezoids are what I use more in calculus, trapezoids and rectangles, as far as when we get to area of them. So they're used a lot more in ACT than the other shapes, for just so you know. Okay, so isosceles trapezoid is a fancier trapezoid. So it's got one pair of parallel sides. So all of these have one pair of parallel sides. But they also have fancy things. The non-parallel sides are the same. So these two are the same. So if there's algebra there, set them equal. Okay. Two pairs of congruent base angles. So the base angles are congruent. So there's these two and these two. Oh, things to keep in mind, too, is, I should go back up here, the parallels. Don't forget about, like, same side interior angles. Like, these two add up to 180, too. So, like, keep that in mind as you're doing some of the algebra problems or the angle problems. The base angles are the same. They look the same for isosceles, so that helps. And then the same side interiors are supplementary. And then last one, diagonals are the same. So because of the congruent triangles in here, so like these whole lengths are the same, but also these two little guys at the top are the same. Here, I'll zoom in a little. And these two bigger ones at the bottom are the same. So. All right, let's do algebra junk. Woohoo! Okay, when the trapezoid doesn't have the bases horizontal, it drives me insane, but it's fine. But these are like the parallels. I usually like to highlight them. Okay, so if you want, just turn your paper, you know. So base angles are the same. So I'm going to find angle 1 first. Why? Because it's easy. Yeah. Now for number 2, angle 2, we've got these two have a relationship. So keep in mind, like, base angles are the same. That's like one of the rules for a trapezoid, but also with the parallel stuff, all you have to do for angle 2 is you're going to take 180 minus 117. So what's that? 63. Okay, and then I did the X stuff. But it doesn't have to go in that order. Like, in order to find this thing, you could add it with 117 if you wanted, instead equal 180. I just personally think it's easier to set these two equal, but you can do, there's all the different ways. So it's whatever you want, whatever speaks to you, you know. And then you would set that to 63. And get your X. You guys know how to do your algebra pretty well. It's more just about what's the same, what's not. Okay. And then same with number 2. Okay, I wonder what's the same. QS. Here's QS. There's RP. Oh, wow. I wonder what it is. You know, it says the diagonals are congruent. So guess what? You're just going to set them equal to each other. So what happens on the quiz is people are like good at, they're like, they set it up great and then they do some like dumb mistake, you know. So just double, triple check your work. It's just straight up 1. Okay. And then QS, you add 1, so 6. 1 plus 5, right? All right, so that's fun. Okay, trapezoid mid-segment. I don't know why. ACT really loves the mid-segments. We did them with the triangle one. Do you remember the triangle one? It was like if you find the middle of this and the middle of that, these two sides are parallel. And this was like double and half of each other. There's mid-segments with triangles, and now there's mid-segments and trapezoids. Plus the trapezoid is like sideways, which drives me insane. But this is like, these are the bases. I just like to, these are the bases, okay, basically. And then this is like the trapezoid. So it's like sideways, you know. So if you draw a mid-segment, so find the middle, and draw it, magical things happen. One of the magical things is the parallel business. Okay, that's one of the things. And the relationship between the side lengths is they're averaged. Okay, so what you're going to do is say like, I don't know, 4 and 10. Let's just make that up. And you have to find the length of the green one. To find the length of the green, you're just going to take 4 plus 10 and then divide by 2. So you just average them. So what is that? 14 divided by 2, 7. So it's averaged, which, you know, makes sense. Mid-segment, I don't know. So that's why the half thing is a divide by 2, but it's the same. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to show you the cheat way to do this and like the formula way for like these two. So if you turn the page, like number 3, you don't technically really need the formula to figure it out. I'll show you with the formula, but like to find, because this isn't the middle, like the X is in like the wrong spot, quote unquote, right? So the formula is basically you take X plus 35 and average them. So you add them, divide by 2, and then that equals the middle, 45. And then you can solve it. So I would double both sides, subtract 35. So like you would solve it, you would get X plus 35 equals 90, and then you get 55. But to be honest, for this one, I wouldn't do that, because if it's all numbers, this is the only way it works. Do you see how this one went down 10? You just go up 10. You just like go the same amount. Do you know what I mean? So like if this one went down 10, so this is like the cheat way technically, you know. So this I subtract 10, but this one I would just add 10. So that one I wouldn't do the formula because it's easier in my brain to do that way. But like number 4 though, where it's like hardcore, you're gonna have to use a formula. So it's kind of like depends on what you have. So for this mid-segment one, this one's like intense because you're basically, you take the two bases and you average them. So it's like kind of hardcore, but you're going to do 6x minus 3 plus 8x plus 5, and you just add them, divide by 2, average them. And then it's going to equal the middle one. So 15. And sometimes it's like a algebra thing too, you know, like maybe this is like 6x minus 4 or something, you know, like this could be more complicated. But you're going to solve it, you're going to solve it the same way. So I'd clear the fraction by doubling both sides. And you could also combine like terms. I might just do that all at once. Because we get, what is this, 14x plus 2 equals, and then you double both sides, so that now is equal to 30, right? So also, if this is algebra stuff, make sure you distribute the 2, you know, like make sure you double all the things, because then now you get 14x equals 28. Oh, this is cute. You get 2. Okay. So All right, moving along. Guess what a kite looks like? A kite. Okay, don't be weird about it. Okay, it looks like it. All right, so like just remember like normal stuff, you know, like here we go, there's a kite, that's what it looks like. It looks like one, a kite. This is a fancy way to say it. Consecutive pairs of sides. It just means two pairs. Okay. Now, this is going to might drive, this one kind of drives you insane. I'll show you in a sec. The diagonal, oh my gosh. Diagonals are perpendicular. Okay. The kite will not fly. If you've ever made one of these, it will not fly if they're perpendicular, if they're not perpendicular. So anyway, remember that these sides are the same, right? What this means is there's like thousands, not thousands, but there's a ton of congruent triangles in here. So like these two little guys are congruent by HL. Same with these two medium. And these big ones, side, side, side. So keep in mind there's more stuff the same. So like these two angles, these two angles, these two angles, these two sides. So keep that in mind as you're doing the problems. There's a lot of congruent triangles in there. And then one pair of opposite angles are congruent. I wonder which ones. Maybe the ones that look the same, hey? There you go. So those are the ones that are the same. They just, I mean, a lot of it is common sense of what it's going to look like, okay? All right, I didn't do any ones with the sides that much because I don't think those are that bad. Like, you guys know what to do for those. But like for the angles, this uses the congruent triangles. Guys, stop talking when I'm talking, please. Okay. So, angle 1. What do we remember? Oh, yeah. Perpendicular. Okay. So, oh boy. Here we go. So this is going to be 90. Okay, now this is what I was saying. These two triangles are the same by HL. Because you got a hypotenuse, leg, and reflexive. So what I'm saying is this 46 is the same here. Okay. And then for angle 3, you're going to do some 180 action. Okay. So don't forget like triangle things. Like 180 minus 90 minus 46. 44. Okay, so congruent triangles, that's a thing. All right, number 2. Oh, this is like solving for y is the most wrong question on the quiz/test. I think it's on both, or I know it's for sure on one of them. So the y is the worst one. X is usually fine. Does anyone know what to do with x? Yeah. Do you know? Equal them. Yeah, they're the same. Exactly. You guys are so smart. Good job. Yeah, these you said equal, right? Because it's just a kite on its side, basically. Kind of, right? So you set them equal. That's, you know, algebra fun. So what is that? X equals 35. I love when it's one step like that. So satisfying. Okay, now for y. Put in your def. Okay? This is what people do. They set them equal. People set them equal. That's the most common mistake on this entire test/quiz. I can't remember if it's on both or one of them. So they set them equal. They're not parallel. The sides aren't parallel. There's nothing parallel on this thing. So this is what you're going to do. Okay, ready? It's anticipation. You're going to put the y over here. Okay? You're going to put the y over there because the triangles are congruent by side, side, side. Then it's going to be a hardcore triangle 180 problem. So it's going to be super long and hardcore. You're going to go y plus 2y minus 20 plus 4x. What? Oh, wait, I have x. Equals 180. So it's a super hardcore, all the angles add up to 180 triangle problem. Okay. You said them equal? No, I just... Common mistake, though. All right. Is there any questions on that? Because that one people get wrong a lot. Okay, so hardcore add up to 180. They're not equal because they're not parallel. Okay, so then I gotta add 3y. No, it should be plus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 3y 30. Cool. All right, now, oh, and then this one has one more common mistake. SW, usually people are okay. So, this one, these two are the same because of the congruent triangle piece. So, these are both 8. So, usually SW are okay to find 16. Now, TZ, people think that this is also 8. People think this is also the same, especially when it's drawn that way. It looks the same, but it's not. So don't forget to read all the things. TR is 18. And then just a chunk of it is 12. So you just go 18 minus 12. 6. Okay.